Hey gang, are you LinkedIn hot or not? Which is it? Today on Just Ask JT, I'm going to be looking at a couple of people's actual LinkedIn profiles here on the platform, and I will give you direct feedback. I will take you top to bottom through your profile, tell you what recruiters and hiring managers are seeing, and what you can do to be a lot hotter on LinkedIn. Now, listen, this is only available, the reviews, to my free resource center members who are able to post their LinkedIn URL in the stream. So if you would like me to bring it up and I'm picking at random, please put your LinkedIn URL in the feed. I can't help my TikTokers because I can't do it there. But again, I've been telling you, in order to participate in this show, you have to be part of that free resource center so that you can access the platform and put it in the comments. So if you want me to look at your LinkedIn profile, top to bottom right now for free, right? And I'm going to tell you more about if you wanted to pay for this service, but for free, I will tell you exactly what to fit in your LinkedIn profile to make you hotter. Now, look, I want you to know that I practice what I preach. If you were to go to my own LinkedIn profile, you will see that everything that I share with you today is something that I do in my own profile. And as you know, and you can see for validation, I have over 2.5 million followers on this platform. I get a lot of views. I do everything that I teach other people to do. And all of my opportunities for my business, for my career, have all come in the last 10 plus years from the work that I do on LinkedIn. So I am a huge fan of the platform. I'm also given a lot of access to the platform, meaning I am a beta tester for them, and that enables me to be able to do that. So we are going to take a look at Jackie Corbett first. Let me see if I can get Jackie's profile listed here. Jackie, I'm going to try to go look you up on LinkedIn. So let's see if we can't find you together. You are my first hot or not recipient. So we're going to go put in Jackie's name, right? It was Corbin. Did I do that right? Do we see you there, Jackie? Let me just see if I'm typing that in correctly. Oh, Corbett. Let me get that right. Corbett. Here we go. Yep, I'm looking for you. Which one is the right Jackie? That's what we have to figure out here. So let's see if we can see it. I'm looking. I don't see you, Jackie. So let's see. You've got some added text into your thing. MSHA. Let's see what that's about. Let's see if we can get that in there. MSHA. And that's not bringing you up. There she is. All right, there she is. Okay, so are we ready to play LinkedIn hot or not? We are going to start with Jackie today. So first of all, Jackie, you need to know that 6 seconds is what they are doing to decide if they're going to scroll down your profile. So your headshot and your banner and your headline matter a lot, because if they're not seeing what they need to in 6 seconds, or if they get distracted by what they're seeing, they're not going to keep scrolling, folks. So a couple of things that I love that Jackie's doing here right out of the gate. First of all, she looks super approachable. Look at that headshot, right? She's smiling, she's approachable, there's no distractions. And then secondly, I'm usually a fan of nothing at all in the banner. And the reason I say that is because most of the time people put stuff on there that's too busy or too distracting. And now you've got a recruiter or hiring manager staring at it going, why is that picture there? What does it mean? But Jackie did a beautiful job. It just says senior global trainer, speaker, author, right? So what you need to understand is those are the three things that Jackie wants to be known for. End of the story, right? That's what she wants to be known for. If I'm a recruiter and a hiring manager and I'm not hiring for those things, I'm not going to look at Jackie's profile. I don't have time. But if I am looking for somebody with those things, I will take a closer look. So she's making a very specific, statement here. If, Jackie, I was actively looking for work, let's say a full-time job, I would be honest with you, I would remove speaker and author. And instead, I would want to see the hard skills that would be required for the full-time job you want. And that's because if I'm a recruiter and I see speaker and author, I'm like, oh no, she does her own gig. She doesn't want a full-time job. Or she wants to consult and we need a full-time person. Recruiters are very, I don't want to say judgy because that's not the right word, but it is their job to discriminate quickly. And so if they don't see what they want to see, or they see something they don't need, you're going to be removed from consideration. So that's one thing I would need to know, Jackie. If you were looking for a full-time learning and development role, I would not put speaker and author in there. You can have it in other sections of your profile, but that's not what we're emphasizing in the headline. What I would be emphasizing in the headline is the word learning and development. I'd get those in there. I would get the technology you use, the techniques you use, the hard skills that are in those job descriptions, because recruiters spend thousands of dollars on LinkedIn to have a very special search. And they're searching on those hard skills, those key skill sets. If they're in the headline, you're going to rank higher in search results. So for me, at the very least, I would want to see more skill sets, because you're not being found because there's not a lot of skill sets in there. But also, I would be really picky about what I put in there depending on what type of job I'm trying to get. Now, the other thing that I would just mention, and this is such a great example, you have your MSHA and your CPTM after your name. What you are telling people when they land on your profile is, do not bother to contact me if you don't require those. I just want to make that abundantly clear, because we have a lot of people on here today who have MBAs or master's degrees, and they put it after their name, and it's actually hurting them. Because if you're looking for jobs that don't necessarily require the certifications or the degrees that you have, you should not put it after your name, because you're getting yourself screened out. They're literally going, oh, they put them in their name. That means they have to use them. They want to use them. This job doesn't require them. I'm not going to consider them for the job. It also screams, I'm more expensive. And that's fine if you do want to be more expensive and you do want to use those. Again, then leave that in place. But for the vast majority of people, we're advising, don't put those there. They're already going to be down in your profile in the appropriate place, the appropriate education or certification. So they're going to be listed. And if somebody actually needs you to have those, you're going to have it in the right spot. And from a search criteria standpoint, you will show up. But from a branding standpoint, it is sending a very intentional message. And you need to decide if that's what you want. Okay? So that's the first thing I see in Jackie's, 6 seconds. Now, what I do like is that Jackie has left her about section very small. One of the mistakes I see a lot of people make is they write epic novels here, and they also make the mistake of writing it in the third person. This is your profile. And so you've done a nice job of writing it in the first person here, and you've kept it really short. What's missing for me, and this is a little secret sauce that we teach at Work It Daily, is what we call the listicle of skill sets. So you kept this short, but now I want to see a vertical list. So you see your top skills that you put in there. I want to see your hard skills, about 12 of them, more if you have them, in a vertical list format after that short paragraph. And let me tell you why. Because as a recruiter, I'm scrolling through, and you want the check mark effect to take over in their brain. So the good news is you kept it short, so you're there. It's not a dense paragraph. But then if there was this vertical list, they would go, oh, look, check, 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 check. Jackie has the 6 skill sets the hiring manager told me I needed. Let me scroll down and see where Jackie got that experience. Does that make sense? So good job on keeping it short, but let's take advantage of the skill set listicle and the check mark effect in order to drive the chances that they're going to come down here and take a look. Okay. Now I'm going to jump down to her experience section. We're going to come back to her content in a minute. Now this is where I take a look at how she's doing in terms of her skill sets. She's done a beautiful job of spacing out her bullet points. See how she hasn't grouped it all together, folks? It's a lot easier to read when somebody keeps it short like this. She's done a beautiful job of quantifying herself and keeping her bullet points to a line or two. In fact, if I was going to be critical of one thing, I would just say this very first bullet point, can you just shorten it up to 2 lines? It's more like, why is it there and why is it critical? So you're talking about completing their enrichment program, but wouldn't that be more of an education thing? Do we even need that here? What's now happening is recruiters going, okay, she's telling me she completed this thing, but I want to know what she got done for the company. They paid her good money. What did she get done? So then we get down and we start to see these great bullet points with results. So I would almost remove this first bullet point and put that somewhere education-wise, and instead just focus on your results, Jackie. And, as I go through, she's done a good job of keeping the other jobs, the bullet points short. She's got numbers. I really like how she's working out the work history. I think that's looking pretty solid. I would make that one change on the recent one, but otherwise doing well. And then after that, folks, LinkedIn is a fill in the blank kind of thing. So there's the education part of it. There's the license and certifications, right? She's got that listed here. Volunteering skills. She's got recommendations. That's important in the sense that you can't make those up, right? Somebody has to do that for you. Those are great honors and awards. So all looking really good in that respect. But all in all, coming together, the work history, just a couple changes. But now I want to talk about her feed because, as you know, your LinkedIn feed and your activity level has now taken over in importance. It is now more important than your profile. Yes, your profile has to be optimized. Yes, you want your profile to be readable in the way that I just described so that a recruiter is seeing what they need to see. But the likely way that a recruiter or hiring manager is going to find you on LinkedIn these days actually has to do with your content. And so posting on a regular basis is what gets you visible. So the challenge here, like Jackie, I love that you shared about a podcast you're listening to and that your recording is in there. That's so awesome. But that's the last thing you posted and it's a month ago. Right? And then a month before that, you mentioned getting the certification. So the reality is, Jackie, is you're invisible on LinkedIn. Unfortunately, because you're not posting consistently, the algorithm sees you as a sporadic user, and the algorithm is built like TikTok's algorithm. So the more content you post, the more eyeballs you're going to get, the more visibility, the more searches it's going to put you in. So if you wanted to be actively found, you've got to focus and start doing content that speaks to the skill set and the industry for what you want to be found on. And that to me is where I think you have the biggest opportunity right now. Really, really huge. But let me just say, Jackie, all in all, you are off to a great start. You have a solid profile, right? Like you have an incredible experience and background. So let's just remind ourselves of that. What you did is give me the opportunity to show you where we could make the LinkedIn profile more readable, and more importantly, where you could get more strategic and more visible using content. I cannot even begin to like pound it into everybody's head that if you want to be found on LinkedIn, whether you like it or not, it is a social media platform. You will not be found. You will not get connected to people if you are not actively participating on LinkedIn in your feed. That is the new normal. And you can complain all you want, but it's not going to change. With 1.1 billion users on the platform, they had to pivot to a way to sort out and find out who was real, who was active, because that's what recruiters want. Does that make sense to everybody? Awesome. Okay, listen, I'm going to take another one at random here in a second, but I just want to give a big shout out to Jackie because, you know, people volunteering to share their posts like that, you're helping everybody else on this, which by the way, there's thousands of people, no stress. So hopefully everybody asks to connect with Jackie too. I would encourage you to go over on LinkedIn because she's clearly top notch. So well done, Jackie. I absolutely love it. Listen, I'm going to give you all a little tip before I take the next one. I'm going to show you something pretty special. Today is a special edition. Today I have posted something in the notes of the show down below. So if you're on YouTube or LinkedIn, you'll see it. This is where you can get a LinkedIn profile review from me. I am offering only 20 of them. You will see it in the link here. They are $79 a piece. You will get a video recording of what I just did for Jackie. I will do for you, top to bottom, a video that you will have that will tell you exactly what to fix in your LinkedIn profile based on what you're trying to do. So if you would like me to do that, I'm special gift today for my live podcast viewers. I've got 20 available. You can click the link and go and get it, and I will send you your video recording. All right. There you go. So I just wanted to show that to everybody because it is a very special thing that I've never done before on the live show. So it's a pretty big deal. Awesome. Okay, let's move on. Let's pick somebody different. I'm going to grab here at random. Let's go with, let's see. I'm going to find someone. Okay, looks like I've got somebody here. Scott Black, brand marketing. Let's see if we can go find Scott. Scott, you are the next contestant. Scott Black, brand marketing. Did we find him? Nope. Let's see. Let's see what you look like on your profile, and let's see if I can find you. All right, we're looking. Can we find him? Do we see him? So this is the thing you have to think about, folks. Like, how do we find you? if it's not coming up. So Scott Black brand, I think you had it this way. Nope, you're not coming up, Scott. And I don't have a way to copy and paste your piece. So let's see. Let's try this. We're just going to put that in, see who we get, see if we can't find you. And this is what I mean, folks. Like, you have got to brand yourself, because there's a lot of Scott Blacks here and we're not able to even find him, right? How interesting is that? This is what I mean about the platform having so many users, that if you can't figure that out, then it's going to be a problem. So I will try this. Hold on a second. LinkedIn.com in, let's try Scott Black brand marketing. See if we get it. There he is. There he is. We got him. We got him. There we go. Can we all see it? Oh, let me switch it over. That's my bad. Here we go. Okay. All right. Next contestant on LinkedIn Hot or Not today is Scott Black. So first thing I just again want to mention, Scott is a common name. This is a big challenge for people on LinkedIn. If you have a common name, you've got to really work on branding yourself. So I like that Scott has it in his URL. His URL is Scott Black Brand Marketing. So that's definitely helping him. But you still want to make sure that you're out posting a lot of content so that you can beat out all the other Scott Blacks in the search results, because I had a hard time finding him even with that. All right. So first things first, Scott, great headshot. He looks approachable, right? The next thing I'll tell you, I'm a total stranger. I'm landing on your page and now I'm distracted because I'm like, what's the picture? Like, what? I'm looking at a vineyard. Why am I looking at a vineyard? Why does Scott want me to think about a vineyard? So where LinkedIn is different as a social media tool is if you don't have a picture that immediately tells me what you do for work, I would not put a picture in. Like, for example, let's say you live in Houston, then at least the Houston skyline would tell me, okay, you live in Houston. I can see you live in Houston. I get it. But right now, my confusion is, what is this? So as beautiful as it is, I have to put my lens on from somebody who is only spending 6 seconds trying to decide and doesn't have time to waste determining what the picture is. Just something to think about. Now, Scott is doing a good job of keyword optimizing himself. He's got marketing director, brand management. Again, you didn't put it after your name, which I think is good, but do we need to have the MBA in the headline? Is what you're saying when you put MBA in your headline, Scott, is don't contact me if you don't require an MBA. And if that's the case, that's okay. But I can't not tell you that, okay? And then lastly, cultivator of passionate consumer engagement. You are wasting words with cultivator of passionate. Consumer engagement is probably a term recruiters would search on. They're not searching on cultivator of passionate. And so the right thing to do in your headline, folks, is to make sure it is keyword only. That's why we do the vertical line divider. We don't describe something. We don't use adjectives. We literally just give the keywords that relate to our skill set that we want to be found on to increase the chances we get found by the algorithm. So Scott, I just think I'd take that out and I'd add more keywords in. I mean, I'd get more brand management keywords in here that that they're searching on for that type of job. Now we come down here. All right. So here's my problem. There's way too much going on here. I'm not going to read it as a recruiter. Not even going to read it. And on top of that, I'm like, wow, words of endorsement. So Scott, like, this is where I would not put those quotes in, because what's happening, Scott, is this is coming across like, hey, look at me. I'm all that and a bag of chips. And, you should see all these people. Like, I'm going to let you know that these people are saying things about me. At your level, we don't need to do that. That's not what LinkedIn profile is for. Not at all. Your LinkedIn profile, the about section at your level should be 3 sentences. X plus years of experience as a brand management executive, have worked on over blank projects with budgets ranging in the size of blank to blank, and have led teams ranging in the size of blank to blank. At your level, Scott, we should be rolling up your experience with numbers in 3 sentences. Because numbers are the easiest thing for a recruiter to interpret. And those are the facts. I'm going to be honest. Those numbers, if you were to write 15 plus years as a brand management executive, have worked with over 50 Fortune 500 brands on projects ranging in the size of 5,000 to 5 million, leading teams of 2 to 20. Guess what? That's all I need to know. You have depth of experience. Those numbers just said it all without having to do the words of endorsement. So, endorsements come in the form of recommendations, and those should be down in their proper spot, but I would not do that here. And by the way, thank you for sharing, because this is like a common thing I see people do. They don't understand that their profile needs to actually be very skimmable, very dry. Where we could start to leverage things like this is in the feed. Like, if I were you, I would take each one of these quotes and I'd make a graphic, and I would say, thank you to Mark Copen, Vice President of Marketing at C. Mondavian Family, and put the quote in and put it in my feed. But I would not put it here. The other thing is, you've got, like, I really love that this nice dense list of key skill sets. This is perfect for my listicle format, because I can't read it like this. This is just a dense paragraph. I would take each one of these and do them in listicle format, capitalize the first letter of each word, and then let me just go check, 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 check. Wow, Scott's got all the skills, right? That is what I want to see in a format I can quickly absorb. So lots of changes I would make to your about section. Down here, so with your, I'm looking really quickly. I'm glad that you've got content in for each of your jobs, but all you've got are short, dense paragraphs with no numbers. So I want to know what you got done. How many projects did you work on? How many people were involved? What was the budget? What were the results? What were the percentages? Every single recruiter is going to tell you, I don't care how you did something. I just want to know what the results were. That's what they're hiring you for. So simplifying this down to just 2 or 3 bullet points that are a line or two long with numbers is how you're going to get their attention. And then they're going to want to call up and find out how you did it. So I think you want to rework this section here. Education is fine. Skills is fine. You got great recommendations down here, right? Your languages. So really, for me, it's reworking these bullet points with numbers in the work history, but definitely an overhaul to the about section and better capitalizing on the headline for you. So that's what I would do to your static profile. Now let's take a look at your actual content. Wait, let me get there. All right. So your activity, let's go look at your activity level. Because again, folks, the thing is, think of it this way. Your LinkedIn feed is like the old-fashioned yellow pages. You remember phone books? Oh my gosh. Like, there were these big, thick things. Probably don't. A lot of you probably don't. But there was a white pages section where it was just the names of people in their residencies. And there was a yellow pages section where they told you about businesses. The businesses that got the most business out of the yellow pages were the ones that paid for ads in the yellow pages, because people look at the big ads and then they go find the information. Think of your LinkedIn feed as your yellow page ad. The more content you're putting in here that talks about these things, the better off you are, right? So, like, this is cool, right? You did this 6 days ago. You launched a new venture, Epicurean Strategies, a marketing consultancy. This is so cool, right? But now, like, my question is, okay, here's a good one. You talk about Super Bowl ads. Like, this was awesome, the way you shared your point of view on that, Scott. That was a month ago, though. Here you are, and I'm going to give you a little grief, but I know you can handle it because you're awesome. Your background's amazing. You're a brand marketer. Dang it, Scott. It's expected that you be posting every day in LinkedIn. I want your points of view. I want your observations. I want your contrarian thoughts on the market. I want you to do some listicles. I want you to share a methodology. I want you to give me a case study. I want some examples. Like, flex your knowledge, my friend. I should be seeing stuff in here like all the time from you. And it says you've done videos, but I want to see videos of you. At your level, Scott, you should be able to get on camera and tell me something, right? This is what I mean about documenting your knowledge, because what's going to happen if I want to hire you as a brand manager, I want to, like, consume all these breadcrumbs, like, pun intended, my friend. I want to consume breadcrumbs of you in the feed. So now I'm like, I've got to meet Scott. And more importantly, they're going to find you in your feed first, folks. And I'm going to keep reminding of you this. They're going to take in the content and then finally go check Scott out. Now they almost have rose-colored glasses on. So now they see what they want to see in his profile, as opposed to screening him out. That is the beauty of the feed. When you lead with the feed, especially if you're somebody that's changing careers, if you're somebody that's between jobs, if you've got a situation going on, you want to lead with your feed so that they're falling in love with your content and identifying and connecting with you so that when they get over to your profile, they're like, yeah, okay, he's got the skills, she's got the skills, let's call her, right? That's what you're trying to do here on LinkedIn. So Scott, I just got an incredible background. I'm going to push you. You were born to do content. So let's see a lot more of it as it relates to what you're doing in this feed. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah, is that making sense? Awesome. All right, again, just a friendly reminder, if you're like, I want one of these, I am doing something very special for my live viewers, only 20 of them, right? So I have built a place where you can get these, and I will show you there's only 13 left. Take a look right now, already 7 sold. There's only 13 left. It is a LinkedIn profile review by me. You will get top to bottom video explaining exactly what to fix and change for both the profile and your feed. And there's only 13 left, so get them while they're hot, because I don't have a lot of time and I wanted to do this as a gift, as a way to give it to you. Okay, let's jump back and see. We're going to take one more lucky viewer today. One more lucky viewer. All right, let's see who we've got. I'm scrolling through. Oh, I've got somebody here, Jonathan Johnson, PhD. Jonathan Johnson, PhD. Let's see if I can find Jonathan. All right, so that's the first thing I'm going to do. Jonathan. Jonathan Johnson. Am I spelling it right? So I've got to always look at this. Jonathan. Yep. Oh, Jonathan L. Johnson. Let's do that. So this is what I mean about them having to look for you. There you are. I think I got you. Is that the right one? Let's make sure. Do I have the right Jonathan? I do. I do. All right, Jonathan, you are my third and final contestant today on JT's LinkedIn Hot or Not. Great to have you here. Let's bring up your full profile, my friend. Okay, first of all, how much do I love this photograph? I'm obsessed. Jonathan, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this photograph. It's authentic. It's real. You look amazing, my friend. And I'm good with the banner. You know, it's just clean. It's calm. It's not distracting. So great look. Here's one thing I'd want you to think about. Turn the open to work off. Turn it off. I'm sitting here literally on LinkedIn Live with you all, and I'm just going to give you my honest opinion. There are recruiters out there that are like, it's a buyer's market. I'm going to hire somebody who's currently employed. So when you put open to work, they're immediately assuming, whether it's true or not, that you are between jobs right now, that you're unemployed. And so what happens is they're not bothering to scroll down. Now, let me be clear so everyone understands why I want Jonathan to turn this off. First of all, there is no competitive advantage to having it on. There's no special search results you show in, nothing like that, okay? What does happen is when recruiters search for you in their very expensive LinkedIn technology, you come up with just your headshot, your headline, and how many people you're connected at the company. So let's say I'm recruiting for Apple, and you come up, and I see that, and I see open to work, and I see you know nobody at my company. I'm probably going to skip you because I'm more likely going to look for somebody who's got connections at my company and does not have the open to work sign. Not saying Apple would do it that way, but I'm giving you the example. What I want to make happen, Jonathan, is I want to get them to open your profile. So let's turn off the open to work. I want to get them to open the profile because they see you keyword optimize, and we get them so excited about you going down the chute that when they get and see you're not working, they're like, yeah, but he's really good, so we should still contact him. That I can make happen for you with the right profile changes, okay? So I'm going to ask you to trust me in this and try turning it off. Now, look what he is doing. His headline is phenomenal. Folks, these are all key skill sets, right? He is definitely in the DEI space, diversity, equity, inclusion, and advocacy. These are all for that kind of role. These are the keywords. So what Jonathan is saying is, hey, I want a job in this space within HR. So I'm going to use those keywords. All right. Here's what I would throw out for consideration, Jonathan. We know there are fewer of those jobs right now. I might consider cutting it in half and swapping it out with some other key HR terms that speak to like a broader set of jobs within the space just so we can get you in more search results. Because you perfectly optimized, but you optimized like this dialed in. And so if that's what you want and you're willing to hold out, don't change it because it's beautiful. But I also see an opportunity for you to maybe talk about more general HR terms, like HR isn't anywhere in there. So I might want to swap a few out in order to get some of those more general terms so that you get found more. And here's a little tip, little bonus tip that I haven't shared with anybody yet, but I'm going to share with you all now. You should every 2 weeks, like make a calendar note. All right. And every 2 weeks, like every Friday, 2 weeks, go in and change a word in your headline. So literally go in, take one word out and put a different word in and hit save. When you change words in your headline, it triggers the algorithm to rescan your profile. And this is one of the tricky ways because recruiters create searches and then save them. And the searches are saved around keywords. So what literally could happen is that they've saved a search and you didn't qualify for that search, but you go change a keyword or two and all of a sudden it triggers that you're qualified and now they're looking at you. So it's a little pro tip that I would encourage you to do. But that's what I'm thinking about your headline, Jonathan. Your call for sure. Okay. So here's the thing. This is sort of like a pretty classic way that people do their about sections. And the reality is it's not working in your favor, Jonathan. It's just not helping you the way you would want it to. There's a little bit too much text here, and you're also using a bit of an outdated way to do it. And so I'm so grateful that I chose you. So here's the thing. You open up with, I'm a dynamic and strategic leader. What happens is the reader, especially a recruiter, goes, says who? Says everybody. That is an opinion of yourself. I don't doubt for a second it's not true. Let me be honest, okay? But the better thing to do in your about section is to not hype yourself. And so this is so common. Like what you did is what probably, there's thousands of people on here today. I guarantee, put a hand up, folks, if you're all like, yeah, I did what Jonathan did, right? Because we think that's what we're supposed to do to sell ourselves. No. Let me go back and reiterate what I said to our other two contestants. I want how many years of experience in your skill set, size of the teams, size of the project, size of the budgets, whatever. Because that tells me what level you are in 3 sentences with numbers without having to brag. That's what I want to see. At your level, Jonathan, I'm expecting that from you. Numbers only, let the facts speak for themselves. You get it? Okay. Then instead of key achievements, because here's the problem with achievements, folks. And again, I'm so grateful, Jonathan. You're not helping me by putting them there because I have no context of where you did them. So recruiters like, this doesn't serve me. Great, you did DEI products that increased diversity hiring by 40%. Where was that? What was the such? It doesn't help them. Those achievements should be in your work history. Instead, I want your vertical list of skill sets, right? Because I want that check mark effect for you. You're going to have a long list at your level. And they're going to go, ooh, check. Oh, he's got all the skills. Let me go look at his work history. So that's how I would be changing your about section. Now, down here, okay, again, I see this all the time. People do just quick, short summaries of their job. Not what you want to do. Instead, I want 3 to 5 bullet points, 1 line long, 2 lines tops, numbers driven. I need to know what the results were. So that key accomplishment should have been here because I see 40% and go, okay, but how many people did you hire? Right? Out of how many people in the organization? Like folks, go through and circle every noun. And if you can quantify it, slap a number in there because numbers help us as we're reading you understand the depth of your experience much faster. It's just a proven fact. So also your resume bullet points should be identical to your LinkedIn bullet points. The one place where your resume and LinkedIn are the same are your bullet points, because otherwise recruiters can't tell what's what. So if you optimize, by the way, if you work with us at Work It Daily, we have a whole 6-second resume design that teaches you how to do all this. And then we show you how to take what you did in your resume and put it in the right places in your LinkedIn profile. So we have a way of doing that if you're a member of our program over at Work It Daily. If you're interested, check out workitdaily.com. But for you, Jonathan, I really want to see bullet points with numbers. At your level, you've clearly delivered results. What were they? That's all I want to hear, because that's going to make me call you and want to figure out how you did it, right? And so great, same feedback all the way through there. Again, you've got education, license and certifications, volunteering and skills, recommendations, publications, languages. I mean, you're killing it with your fill in the blanks on LinkedIn. It's very thorough. But the work history needs to be reworked. The about section needs to be reworked. And, some of the things we talked about in the headline need to be considered. All right, now let's take a look at your content because I want to know what's going on over there. Okay, very good. So here we go. So this is great. So Jonathan did a post 2 days ago. Hey, my job was eliminated. I need your advocacy. Here's what I'm looking for. Now, here's what I love about this post. First of all, a lot of people do these wrong. And so you really shouldn't do it unless you know what you're doing. What Jonathan did so well here is he told people specifically what he was looking for and why. How great is this? Very clear, right? Talked about it. This is phenomenal. I mean, I need to give that a huge like because you're making it easier for your network to help you. So Jonathan, I'm obsessed. That is an excellent, excellent post, my friend. And as you can see, he had lots of people commenting. So it's good. Then look at this, right? So this is a week ago. He really gets into the specifics around this. Reposting somebody's content is great, but if you don't provide context like Jonathan did, you're not helping the algorithm. The algorithm's like, oh, he's just reposting to repost. They're not going to reward you. They are going to reward Jonathan because he was very specific in his advice and his thoughts. So I'm absolutely loving that. This was good. I would have expanded on Dr. Clark more here, which is great. And then, the quote, Martin Luther King, it's great. What I'm going to tell you is that you need to be posting daily now. And you need to be posting more like that post here. Because what you don't want to do, folks, and this is really important, don't post in your feed about your soft skills. Don't post in your feed about your leadership strategies and whatnot, because recruiters and hiring managers plan to assess that about you themselves. In your feed, because of the way the algorithm works, post about your industry and post about your skill sets. The more you post about your industry and skill sets and the more original content you put in the form of your thoughts and ideas, the more you're giving the algorithm to read and absorb. And that's what's going to help you get put in front of the right people. Again, think about the TikTok algorithm. I know not all of you are on it, but if you've been on TikTok, it watches what you watch and then it just starts to serve it up to you. That's how it's been built for recruiters. And I cannot stress that enough to people. If you want recruiters to find you, start posting about your industry and your skill set. Also, follow the companies that you want to work for, right? Comment on their content. This is a social platform designed to get visibility, okay? But all in all, I just want to say, Jonathan, joy checking out your very impressive profile. Can I even say this? Randomly chose 3 people. Everybody was hot, right? There were no knots here. Everybody was hot. But my goal was to show you that you have to look at your profile, which is different than your feed. You have to look at your profile as a static, quick, easy to read, check mark effect, no subjectivity, no distraction way of going, check, 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 check. Okay, they have the skills. And you need to look at your LinkedIn feed as, here's how I'm going to reel you in. Here's how I'm going to get you to get to know me and want to work with me. That is the new normal. And I'm telling you, folks, the upside is this is a good thing. People get so upset, oh, I don't want to post content. But this is about democratization. Because when LinkedIn was first built, the only way you got jobs was if you knew someone. Like when LinkedIn was first built, you couldn't even connect with somebody unless you knew them. And then they started to open it up and let you ask people to connect, right? But now the feed allows somebody who really believes in what they do to put their content out there, provide the evidence, provide the proof, and get a shot at a job they wouldn't have otherwise got. And I know that for a fact because that's what we teach our clients to do. And that's how my clients are getting jobs. I'm going to tell you a true story. So one of my Work It Daily clients was in project management. We built his bucket list of 20 companies he really wanted to work for in the US. He followed them on LinkedIn. He started commenting where it made sense on their content. And he started posting about his project management, best practices, techniques, thoughts, ideas every single day. He created a streak. A streak is where you don't miss a day. On day 17, a recruiter from one of the companies on his bucket list that he was following contacted him for a job, and he now works there. The algorithm is going to reward you. Now, will it happen for everybody at day 17? No. It will depend on the quality of the content you're putting in the feed, how often you're putting it in the feed, what's going on, your activity level. But all I can tell you is it's not going to happen if you don't do it. So get going, get your profile optimized, and start posting in your content feed. All right. Did this make sense to everybody? Are you seeing this? I've been doing this for so long. I work with people every single day in our paid platform. So I'm really excited to say, I'm just going to go over there one more time and bring it up. We will see. I will just tell you all. Again, I made 20 LinkedIn profile reviews available for purchase. So you will get a private video and I will top to bottom tell you just like what I did for these 3 lucky contestants. I will do it for you. The link is here or down below. You will see there are 11 left. There are 11 left. So if you want them, they are there. Once they're gone, they're gone. I just don't have the time to do them like this for people. So this is my gift to you if you want to get one. But I will also tell you this, folks. In this is also my free resource center. No credit card required. Inside there is my job search bootcamp. We talk about LinkedIn. We talk about your resume. We talk about all the different things that you can do. So please, if you haven't already joined my free resource center and you are a job seeker, that is a great first step for you right now. A great first step, because the free resource center is where we are helping a lot of people close the gaps in knowledge they have about what's happening in the job market and how to compete in what is one of the toughest job markets I've seen in my 30-year career, right? So get into the free resource center and let us start helping you in that respect. Would love to have you in there. And then, of course, if you want to work with me and my team on your LinkedIn profile, on your resume, on your cover letter, on your job search strategy, on your interview prep, that is what my company Work It Daily does. And we have a 7-day free trial. So if you want to go over, we have 2 membership levels. One starts at $39 a month. The other starts at $79 a month. The one for $79 a month comes with unlimited coaching support from my team by email. So you send your LinkedIn profile in, they do what I just did. Send your resume in, all these different things. So go check it out, 7-day free trial. Come work with me and the team. I go live 5 times a week. In fact, I'll be live this afternoon for our job search session. It's just courses, coaching, and community so that you are not isolated in your job search, and then you're getting the right information and the right tools to speed up your job search. So if you're looking to invest in yourself and say, I want to speed my job search up, we'd love to have you try us free for 7 days at workitdaily.com. Okay? Awesome. Wow, this was a really fun session. Let me ask, should I do a LinkedIn Hot or Not again sometime? Did you find this helpful? Yeah? All right, if you did, let me know in the comments. And maybe we will have another live LinkedIn Hot or Not live session. Otherwise, very excited. Whoever purchased a LinkedIn profile review in out of the 20, you will see that from me in the next day or so in your inbox, private video. Happy to do it. And for the rest of you, I'll see you this week. I'll see you. I've got a live podcast again tomorrow. Hopefully you're in the free resource center. And for those of you that want to invest, we'd love to have you try us out for 7 days at Work It Daily. Okay. All right. That's everything. Great, guys. Thank you so much. This was a really fun session. Have a great day. And thanks again to my participants. You were awesome.